Alright, this is the Woods stage tutorial for Mickey Mousecapade. Again, we're going to start with the overview, let the stage play out, and let us go over a couple things. This stage is another stage where you don't need to use sync movement, so you'll have to compensate your jumps over these pits. There's a lot going on in this stage and it's pretty difficult. So to kind of give you an idea, this is like a maze stage. But this is the quickest route through it. The main issue you're going to see here are these bears. These bears are quite difficult to navigate when you're first starting out. Specifically that most recent one, where the bears are next to that pit and you're jumping over the pit blindly. It's kind of an unforgiving spot. We got some more bears here. So you'll be taking a lot of damage in this stage, most likely. It's completely normal. But there's a lot of good strats to kind of help you get through it. This is the final section of the garden. And you're basically making sure you're compensating for Minnie when you're jumping over stuff, so Minnie doesn't fall into the pit and cause you to die. Like, this whole section is very, very hard to get through without taking damage. This is the snake boss. That was a really good fight. It almost doesn't go that way. So, but yeah, we'll do a breakdown now. Alright, let's break down the stage. Okay, we're just gonna start by moving right. Very simple. And then when this guy appears on screen, you're gonna do a quick double shot to kill him. They take 2 shots to kill. Now you're gonna see me jumping here, which seems weird because I'm near a pit. But the reason I do this is to kind of avoid the projectiles, because sometimes they come out this way and they can like hit you, and sometimes even hit you when you're trying to jump. So if you just walk over to the ledge and try to jump, sometimes you'll take damage and it'll like throw you off. But you want to try not to take as much damage as possible, and you'll see why. So I jump to land right on the edge here and then jump again. So again, to compensate for Minnie. This is another stage where you cannot sync your movement, so you need to make sure you're compensating your jumps. Okay, so these mushroom guys are really frustrating to deal with. I think I was able to clear this guy by just jumping over him, but sometimes they constantly jump back and hit you. And then these guys just shoot you. I was ready for it, and that's why I jumped. So let's watch this section in full motion. Kind of just... The good thing is, actually, I don't know if I went over this or not, but when you're jumping, you can kind of just stop your momentum in midair. Jeez, alright, there we go. So I'm kind of just falling here. So as soon as I let go of the D-pad, you can just kind of fall. And then I jump again, and again I jump at the ledge so Minnie will clear the pit as well. Continue walking right here. You can walk right under this bird, he won't hit you. So there's 2 of these guys over here. Your best bet is to just start shooting immediately and hope that they don't jump, because that's what they're doing here, and they're making it very difficult to get past. Sometimes you have to kind of stop your movement, and I end up taking damage there, so let's just watch it again. They're just jumping back. Sometimes they just rush you, and then you can kill them immediately without having to stop your movement. Okay, so you got 3 birds coming here. And this, you're going to be entering inside this tree, and this is like the secrets I was talking about in the ocean stage, where your shots kind of like just go into nothing, or that's what it looks like. But you shoot these things 8 times and they open a door. So what I'm trying to do here, and I don't do it very optimally, but to give you an idea of how to kind of optimize this a bit, I start shooting early to try to hit this as many times as I can before I get over there, because you have to hit it 8 times. So you can get a couple shots in, like as you're landing. I'm shooting another shot here, and it's just to avoid the amount of jumps you have to do here. So like here I have to jump twice to open the door. You can shoot it enough times to where you only have to jump like once. So let's see here. Just watch it in full motion. Again, it's about, I think it's about 8 shots. So, alright, moving on. So this is the fall section. So you don't actually see the summer section at all. You just go right to fall. The summer section you can access, but you just don't see it in a speedrun. Alright. So these are the notorious bears. They're extremely annoying to deal with. What I do here is once I'm like, I would say when Mickey is past this end of the tree, this right side of the tree, I start shooting immediately. And that's to get these bears taken care of as fast as possible. Okay, you can actually shoot their boulders as well. And then I guess I should go over the, I'm just trying to think, like maybe I should go over the health stuff too. So you're going to be forcing health drops as well, which I'm going to go into more detail after this breakdown, but there's a reason why you want to like try to kill this bird here. I missed the bird unfortunately, but it's not the end of the world. But you should try to kill that bird if you can. Definitely kill this guy as soon as he enters the screen, because they're very annoying if you don't. They like follow you and have this erratic movement, which you'll see in the last section of the stage. Again, jumping near the pit and then doing another jump. This guy was really nice to me. He just kind of walked by and fell into the pit. And then this guy, like if this guy gives you a good pattern, you can just kill this guy. Alright, so this is the pit. This is honestly the most dishonest part of this run, is this. So when you jump over this pit, there's going to be 2 bears waiting here. Now they're either going to charge you or they're going to be nice and just jump. Either way, you're looking to take some damage. And right here they actually charged me, so I was able to react quick enough. Again, I'm going to go over these patterns after this breakdown, more detailed bear patterns, so you can kind of understand what's going on here. So when a bear hits you, look how much health I have. I have about 11 bars here. And this bear is charging me. I cannot do anything about this. I have to just start shooting. And as soon as I take damage, I lost 8 bars of health. So the bears will like almost instantly kill you. So with this particular pattern, I was able to turn around, face left, and kill him immediately. You want to take damage from these boulders if you can, because they only do 1 bar of damage, and the bears do 8. So as soon as I kill him, I immediately walk towards this bear and try to take care of him as well. Okay. And then as you can see, I get a health drop here. I'm going to go into health drops a bit more in detail after this breakdown, but basically when you kill 8 enemies, it always drops one of these, and this will refill your health completely. So you're almost in a way just trying to force this to drop somewhere at this point. So if you're entering this fall section with, you know, with any health missing, you're risking dying on this part, on this particular section, just because if a bear charges you, you're dead. So if you have less than 8 health entering the section and a bear charges you, your run's dead, or you're dead. So, and then the entrance is right here, so you want to start shooting. If for some reason you don't get the health drop yet, this bird can drop it too. We haven't killed 8 enemies. And what I mean, I guess I should also elaborate on that. By 8 enemies, I mean 8 in each section. So like as soon as you enter a new section, that counter's reset. So, all right, the winter section, a little bit easier to handle, a little bit more forgiving. Again, see, as soon as you see this guy, just take care of him. Now, I'm carefully killing enemies, very specific enemies here. Like, I'm ignoring the birds on purpose, and you'll see why. Because it's the same thing here where, you know, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you got some more bears here. So, these bears are actually not as bad because you could just walk right. And there's these pigs that are charging you from behind, or boars. I guess you could say boars. They're going to hit you, and you want them to hit you because they only do one bar of damage, okay? So you can use your iframes here to just take care of these bears. Don't worry about taking hits from the boars because it's fine. And my health drop was right there on that guy, which is fine. And then we were able to kill the bears without taking any damage. Now this is what I mean by these guys being super annoying. It's really hard to kill this guy. Like, you almost will never kill him. Like, but you can actually do it if you're fast enough. But like, I've got 1 and 2 shots into him, but they take 3 to kill, I think. So just continue walking. See, he's following you. So that's why, like, it's imperative that you kill these guys if you can. This one in particular will most likely follow you. So, but I do a quick turnaround, take care of them real quick. And there's another one, of course, but as soon as they leave screen, they're gone for good. So this is like where the stage begins to loop again. That's why you see this start here. So this is kind of like a very cryptic NES thing. The entrance is right here to the final section, but right when you enter the section, it's not there. So that's why you go all the way around and loop to this part. So good luck figuring that out when you were a kid. All right, so this is the garden section. So these floors open, they seem kind of crazy, but all you got to do is just walk up to the edge and jump, and you're safe every time. Try to jump again immediately, depending on what patterns these guys give you. Sometimes you're just gonna get hit here. This time I didn't. And you got another guy here, which I wasn't able to kill, unfortunately. So he's gonna follow me. I'm gonna clear all these enemies. One thing that I'm doing here, just to kind of give you an idea, when you jump onto this, on this boulder here, you should just start mashing. You start mashing the shoot button, and it'll just kill all these flowers that are in your way. So you want to do that. Again, this is a very tough section. So when the floor opens and you jump, you can kind of see me do it, where I kind of just hesitate in mid-air, like I let go of the D-pad. And I do that because this guy will hit you if you just continue holding right. So I purposely try to shoot him on the way down and just hopefully kill him. Now this, you have to just shoot and pray and hope that these guys die and don't shoot you. But most of the time, they're going to. Just mash, you know? Mash and pray. Sometimes you'll get through here without taking damage. Most of the time, you're gonna get hit. So, not much you can do here. And it seems like this stage is just like that. There's some spots you just cannot avoid damage. So, you just want to minimize it, but using these strats, I mean, this is really the best you can do. Another thing I'm doing here is I'm jumping and I'm shooting this flower here, right? So this flower contains an invincibility fairy. If my shots go past it, then there's no fairy there. If my shots hit it, then there's a fairy there. I'll go over that after this. Go over that ending as well. So we're gonna continue moving right here. These guys will usually drop health for you if you're mashing. For some reason I only got 2 there, but usually I think there's 3 guys. I don't know how there wasn't. He must have, you know what happened? It looked like he just jumped off screen. Yeah, he just jumped off screen, so that left only 2. There's actually 3 guys here normally. I didn't even notice that. Alright, so this section, you're gonna like most likely take damage here too. So I can tell you what I go for here, because this guy like always hits you, or like one of these flowers do. There is a very, very particular jump where you can avoid getting hit here, and I do usually go for it. So I do a short jump here, and if you land on like this side of the boulder and immediately jump when you land, like I landed too far in the center here, but if you land like here and jump again, you can actually avoid getting hit by this guy here. Very hard to do, but, and then this last guy he's the MVP. Sometimes he'll just stay right here and just constantly like get in your way, but he jumped off screen here. All right, so this is the snake boss, another unforgiving boss, much like the crocodile. He only takes about 8 hits, I think. I got really lucky here with this pattern, but let me explain like kind of what's going on here. So when I jump, I'm like kind of aiming for this bottom half, this like bottom half of the flower, and I'm trying to also shoot. I'm trying to shoot when these 2 people, or these Mickey and Minnie, it said people, these 2 are aligned. So you see how they're aligned here? Like I should have probably waited to shoot till they were aligned. So when they're aligned and you shoot, it gives you more of a chance to hit this section of the boss. So this whole, like the head is the vulnerable part, and I think even maybe part of this might be as well. I'm not too sure. It's very strange, but like you'll see that all 3, looks like maybe all 3 of these shots hit him. Yeah. See, like this one was too low, I would say. I want to, yeah, I think maybe just this part of his head. But as you can see, I'm like purposely waiting for Mickey and Minnie to be synced in midair to shoot. And I do that on purpose to kind of get as many shots as possible. Now what can't happen is you can shoot, his projectiles will get in the way sometimes too, which again I'll go over at the end of this breakdown of some more boss patterns, because this is obviously a good pattern. So, but yeah, that's the breakdown of the woods. Alright, so I want to be as detailed as possible, so I'm gonna go over some more details in this stage. Again, there's a lot to unpack here. So let's go over the fairy ending. I was mentioning that you can get this fairy in one of these flowers here. This is considered faster on average. In some cases, it's, you know, it might not be. It just depends. Because you can still have a pretty fast stage without it, but it does make everything easier, and you'll see why. So after you clear this section, you kind of just wait in midair here. Whoops. And then let's do that again. Okay, I got, all right, so you're gonna clear these guys out. This guy will hit you like normal. So then start walking right, and then I'm gonna jump and shoot this flower. I always check this when I'm going through this section. I always shoot this flower. So like when you're going right through here, if you get, see, as you can see, the shots stop here. So that means you need to shoot 8 times to get this fairy to appear. So this is like the optimal movement, right? Well, actually, let's play this out so you can see it. Okay, so we got the fairy. We're hauling ass to the end here. So you can kind of just walk through everything with this fairy, including this boss, which is an instant kill. And that's what you want. That's the reason why you want to farm for this fairy, but you got to do it effectively, like the way I'm doing it here, where I'm shooting as I'm approaching, and then your shots have to be good. So you get the first 3 here, jump again, wait till Mickey and Minnie are aligned, drop another 3, and then as you want to like kind of wait, because it's a pretty tight movement, so you kind of want to wait till you're past this flower at this point, but not to where it's off screen, of course, but like to right here, and then do quick two shots back, and then like this is like a perfect setup, and then just run, you know, get around the rocks, do some good jumps around the rocks. And what I do here is, so like the fairy is immediately leaving, so you can't wait too long, so I just hold right. And it seems like with my luck, this guy always stays as far back as possible. But just hold right, and then if he gets near you, just jump into him. That's it. Now, if you're running low on time with the fairy will sometimes start to take off, like right before you get to the end here. As soon as you enter the boss room, he'll reset. So he'll reset and then immediately try to leave, like right here. And then, bam, that's it. So it's ideal to farm for that. If you can, it's faster. And just as long as your farming is optimal like it was there, you're going to be saving time. Alright, so I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on these bear patterns. I made like a small clip here, trying to show off some examples. This first one I'm not really going to go into too much detail because there's no point. As long as you start shooting in this, at this spot, like right at the end of this tree line here, you should be good. Like you can see, they're either going to jump or they're going to charge you. So just shooting here and getting the pattern where they jump. Like I'm getting all these shots inside this first bear, and then the second bear is charging me. So 1, 2, 3, and then I shoot again, knock him out, and then I'm going to get this bear on the way out as he falls. So I'm just walking towards the bears. Don't be too afraid. As long as you don't touch them, you're fine. These boulders here only do one bar of damage, so if you're going to try to take damage from these, but you should be pretty safe here. So that's the first set. Alright, for this pair of bears, again, this is probably the hardest one to deal with because it can be out of your control a bit. So like if you could just look at this, like I'm already pretty close to this ledge and there's still no bear spawn yet. You're literally like halfway over the hole before you even know you have a pair of bears to deal with. So I mean, it's unfair. Like I mean, there's nothing you can do about this. You just need to do your best to try to deal with what you get. So you get the bears that charge you. Well, I'm gonna let the clip play. Let's see, like you can just see how easy it is to die. So like, whoops. So here, I turn around and turn left, right, to finish this guy off. So if he goes behind you, you want to shoot him and kill him. But like here, I probably should have just stood there to finish him off, but I mean, it happens. Like it's hard to react sometimes in the moment. So like when they're jumping like that, if he jumps and he jumps, or if the first one jumps, then you want to try to take him out like the way I did there. Like I still took damage, but that ended up working out. Like, that was just bad. Like, I just didn't get enough shots on him to take him out. It's gonna happen. That's why it requires a lot of practice. Now this pattern is easily probably the worst one to deal with. Like, because if they both charge you, it's hard to kill this guy. So like, you gotta hope that one of them isn't gonna charge you. One thing that I guess you can do in that situation is you can try to walk past them, but that's kind of risky. Like, you can just try to walk away, but they're gonna keep throwing boulders at you. Like, you're seeing it right here, like how this is tricky. It's tricky to get it down. So my only advice to you is to just do your best and, you know, hope you get a decent pattern. But it's rough. It's rough when you get to this part. Alright, so for the winter bears, they're much more easy to manage. Just when you get to this section here, I'm just, again, like I was saying, just keep charging these guys and take the hit from the boar that's coming from behind. Like, don't even try to avoid them, because you'll take damage from this, lose one sliver of health, and you are able to just take them down. Sometimes even walk past them. It's probably a little bit safer to walk past them in this instance, but it can cause a lot of lag if you do that. So just be careful and just kind of just make your own decision there. Alright, so I got a health drop there, but I'm going to go over the health drops too here after this. But so that was actually a pretty generous pattern for the second set. So you're more than likely going to get a health drop either right before or during that pattern. So again, this one's not too bad because you're not, the key is you're just not near a pit where they can kind of just catch you off guard. So it's basically the same strat as the first set of bears, where you're shooting as they come in. That's it. So just practice, practice, practice. Okay, so now that you kind of know how to deal with the bears, we can go over the health drops. So every section of the stage, if you kill 8 enemies, you get a health drop. It's a full health drop. It's that purple diamond that you see. You can even force one in the first section, but it's not really necessary. As long as you're careful and you don't take damage, there's really no reason. But it's up to you, whatever you want to do. So let me show you. It's kind of hard to see, so you got to count your enemies, right? So you kill 1 bear, kill 2 bears, right? So sometimes they'll throw rocks at you, and you can actually shoot the rocks, and that does count towards your enemy count. So that's something that you do need to keep in mind. So that's number 3, number 4 here. Now I'm usually shooting these things. I don't know why I wasn't here, but if you shoot these projectiles as well, that also counts. So if you're just shooting and you see yourself hit one, you gotta just keep a mental count of what's getting destroyed on screen. 5, 6, and then I'm gonna have to slow this down. So that's number 7. I took damage. And then I got health back here because I killed this guy, but you can't see it because it happened so quickly. Because he's on top, he's like literally on top of me. So when I kill this guy, you'll see me get my health back. See? So that was the 8th kill. So it was hard to see, but let me do the section again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be 6, took damage, and then 7 when I hit this guy. So since you usually take damage from the bears here, this is like a perfect spot. So that was only 7, but there's actually a bird here right before the next section, and when you kill him, there you go, you get the diamond. So you're in good shape at that point. Now this section is a little bit more simple to manage the health. So that guy, I always kill him, and I skip these 2 birds. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this section, there's 5. There's 5, 6, and then 7 was this boar right here that I hit. And then this 8th one's gonna be this guy, if you kill him. So I try not to have that happen. I try to save it for one of these, hopefully one of these guys to drop it, or one of the rocks. If you can help it, you know, it's up to you. Like, you just need to know that it's just good to have the health drop sometime either during or after the last pair of bears that you deal with. So it's just so you can survive the stage, because each of these last 3 sections has a lot of enemies and it's easy to lose a lot of health. Alright, and in the garden section here, this one's a bit more easy to manage. So you won't always end up killing one of these guys. You want to try to kill this guy if you can, but again, I don't here, so don't worry about it. 1, 2, 3. So again, I stand on these boulders when I shoot, so I'm able to just in a line knock them all out. So that's 3, there's 4. And like, remember that sometimes these guys shoot out projectiles, so you'll be hitting those in some cases. Okay, there's 5 and 6, and I actually got that other one as 7. So this mushroom guy coming up here should be my next health drop. Yep, there it is. And this is like kind of where you want it, is from one of these guys if you can help it. And they're definitely giving me a run for my money there. Alright, so one more example of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I only got 6 here, so this guy will give me it. There you go. Perfect. It's hard to see it because I got it so quickly, but so that's basically what you want. You can create your own route on how you want the health to drop, but this is basically the route that I use. It's like pretty much towards or in the middle, towards the end of each section that you would want a health drop. Alright, so I'm gonna go over these boss patterns and you'll see like how hard this fight can be and how annoying it can be. The one that you saw in the overview and the breakdown was just really good. You're not always going to get that, and you're going to see that here. See, like, I already hit the projectiles, which is what you don't want, but sometimes you can't control that. And he was charging me there, so just to kind of rewind that a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. Jumping, hit the projectiles right here, so it didn't even count. 1, 2, 3, hit the projectiles again. like very unlucky, unfortunately. And then I'm still probably hitting projectiles, so like it's hard to see it like while you're fighting the boss, but that's what happens a lot. Alright, let's see how this one goes. More projectiles. Sometimes he will shoot a last minute projectile and you don't have enough time to prepare for it. more projectiles. So again, this is like what you would see normally, unfortunately. You just need to do your best and still aim for the head. There's really no other way around it. That was a good one. Okay, like this one, he's charging. And it was hard to see, but I actually killed him during the hit animation. So when he's charging like this, again, this boss will kill you in one hit if he touches you. So I took damage from the projectile, but I was still mashing like left and the shoot button. So I was actually able to kill the boss like that. Now when he's on this side and he's really close, the projectiles start to come out even faster because the projectiles themselves are, he shoots them when they leave the screen. So like the faster they leave the screen, the more he shoots. So it kind of just, they start to come out really quick when you're over here. But usually when he's on this side, you're in danger anyway, because if he hits you, you're done. So that was a pretty good example. Oh, he hit me there. Again, you gotta be careful when you're getting close. Obviously you want the fight to go fast, but you're not always gonna get what you want. But yeah, that should cover most of that.